Welcome back. With the campaigning for the local body polls almost reaching its peak, the candidates continue to go all out to woo Chennaites. Now, while seasoned candidates opt for highlighting the work done by the parties at the state government, smaller party and independent candidates unilaterally have chosen to promise change. Take a look at this face-off.
மக்களுடைய குறைகளை மக்களுடைய எதிர்பார்ப்புகளை பூர்த்தி செய்வதற்காகவும் 4 மாத கால புரட்சித் தலைவி அம்மா அவர்களுடைய மாண்புமிகு புரட்சித் தலைவி அம்மா அவருடைய தலைமையில் அமைந்திருக்கின்ற ஆட்சி மிகப்பெரிய அளப்பரிய பணிகளை ஆற்றி இருக்கிறது. அதற்காகவும் மக்களுடைய உணர்வுகளை புரிந்து ஆட்சி செய்கின்ற புரட்சித் தலைவி அம்மா அவர்களுடைய தலைமையில் கிரேட்டர் சென்னை இயங்கினால்தான் அபிவிருத்தி நடக்கும். ஆகவேதான் எங்களுக்கு வாக்களிப்பார்கள், நாங்கள் வெற்றி பெறுவோம்.
இப்போ கடந்த 5 ஆண்டுகளில் தமிழின காவலர் தலைவர் கலைஞர்களும் தளபதி மு.க. ஸ்டாலின் அவருடைய அறிவார்ந்த மற்றும் ஆக்கப்பூர்வமான வழிகாட்டுதலின்படி மாநகராட்சி ஏராளமான காரியங்களை செய்திருக்கிறது. அந்த காரியங்களை இப்போது ஜனங்க கையில் சொல்லி ஓட்டு கேட்குறப்ப பெரிய அளவில் வரவேற்பு இருக்குது. நிச்சயமாக திமுக கழகம் பெருவாரியான வாக்குகள் வித்தியாசத்தில் வெற்றியினை பெறும்.
First, I will make entire office of the corporations as hygienic and like a corporate. Then only they will be able to deliver the good material and good quality to the city.
இப்போது புறநகர் என்று சேர்க்கின்ற புறநகர் பகுதியாக 2ஆக பிரித்து அந்த புறநகர் பகுதியில் இருக்கின்ற சாலைகளையும் அங்கே இருக்கின்ற கால்வாய்களும் சீரமைத்து அந்த பொதுமக்களும் சென்னையினுடைய சுகத்தை அனுபவிக்கின்ற அளவுக்கு பயனாற்றுவேன். சென்னை
பொதுவாக சிங்கார சென்னைன்னு சொல்லிக்கிட்டு இருக்கிறது மட்டும் இல்லாமல் ஒரு புதுமையான ஒரு மாற்றமான கண்டிப்பாக ஒரு சென்னை ஆக்க முயற்சி பண்ணுறோம்.
I want to show to youngsters that without spending money, it is possible to make a big dent as well as grow, each and every time. And at one point of time, definitely we will be able to make it.
We need decentralization. Every ward should have a minimum amount that should be used by these ward committees. That is the foremost thing they are proposing. The next one is the 24/7 call center to tackle corruption, because there is corruption everywhere, as you know. So we need a call center for every ward to control this corruption. The third being the recall of councillors. Even Anna Hazare was saying about recall of MLAs and MPs. That is a big thing, because if 100 people start saying that we need PM to step down, we can't do it. But this is a good opportunity to test. We can start from these councillors.
All right, let's now cross over to our reporter Pratiksha Ramkumar. Pratiksha, you've been covering various election campaigns now. Not long ago, a former election commissioner of India said that when it came to by-elections, then Tamil Nadu had even sort of taken the pants off states like Bihar as well when it came to bribing voters. Now, this is a high-stakes it's almost like a prestige battle for the state government. Have you heard reports based on your coverage so far of all the campaigns? Are there real serious reports of money changing hands, about money flow in this civic body poll?
Sanjay, compared to the state assembly elections, no. This time the money flow has definitely come down to a huge extent. In fact, there were just 2-3 reports of seizures of a few lakhs of rupees in police checkposts. But otherwise, the election commission has come out by saying that the way they were so strict during the state assembly elections, this time the money changing hands has come down to a huge extent. Maybe it's also because there's so many number of candidates and so many parties really coming out that they have decided that with so many restrictions in place, they'd rather go to the people than passing it on money. Until now, we're just a week to go for the elections. Definitely, the money flow seems to have come down to a large extent, at least according to the police and election commission's reports. But that's not really making the election commission really bring down their vigilance. They're being very, very strict. In fact, over the last few days, they have even brought in more checkposts. There are more police personnel being sent to all the ward places, Sanjay.
All right, thank you, Pratiksha. But stay with us. Sharath, welcome to the show. We carried a story a few days ago, with your campaign, with Raj Cherubal, with educated youngsters in the poll fray, as it were, when we called it a few good men. Now, how much money have you spent? Because the other candidates from mainstream political parties have almost been cribbing about the expenditure limit of 11 lakh rupees. How many lakh have you spent?
I've spent till now like 45,000 rupees, and 2 days back I spent like 5,000 rupees.
45,000 rupees, and we are
Yes.
almost the end of the campaign. How did you manage that? Facebook?
No, not like that. Over the period of years, I have established my network. I have addressed more than like 8 lakh youngsters and professionals, and I have met
How many of
lots
them
of
will
people.
go out and vote? This is a direct election, you must understand. This is a direct-
Definitely a sizable percentage will definitely go and vote. Not only vote, but they will definitely bring a few people more along with them.
Pardon me for asking you this question, which a lot of people have on their mind. A lot of people may be convinced about your credentials, that you're IIM educated, that you have your own, the CEO of your own company, that you've started this Hunger Free India Foundation. But they say that Sarath Babu has come a cropper twice. In the Lok Sabha polls, in the election thing where you stood as an independent candidate, you flirted with a political party and came out of it. They say that while we may like a Sarath Babu or several other independent candidates with clean track records, we don't want to waste our vote. That even if we vote for him, he may get us, 10 or 15 or 20,000 votes as he's got in the past, but that wouldn't really get us anywhere. What would you say to these people?
Actually, it's like we all want change, but it will not like suddenly happen overnight. So it will take some time. Even that's what I say. When Abraham Lincoln, he lost nearly 8 times before becoming the president of.
That's with reference to yourself. I mean, your philosophy in life to change, but the people are in a hurry for change. The northeast monsoon is going to stare us in the face.
Definitely.
We're going to have perhaps floods. We don't know, because there are several, stormwater drain work that is left uncovered in several places. I shudder to imagine what's going to happen when the northeast monsoon sets in. So people want change, they want it now. Can Sarath Babu deliver the change now?
Definitely, that's what I promised to the people also.
What will you do?
See, I'll set in a system where
Before that, how do you rate your chances of getting elected as a mayor? It's a tall order, to say the least.
It's winning or losing, it's a second part. Like, we are trying our best to put in our best effort, like to bring in lot more educated.
What do you
people
think can be done to make Chennai a better city to live in?
See, we need first of all the local level. We need better people who in turn listen to the people and solve their problems on a day-to-day level, and not think politics as a business to invest some few lakhs of rupees and take it in the next 5 years.
So you believe the concept of recall of not just the MLAs, but in this case councillors, if they don't perform?
No, I don't think recall
You're
is
not a subscriber to the Anna Hazare sort of
See,
movement.
I don't think recall is necessary. The election is on 17th and people can make a wise choice. They can think like who will really work for the people, and they can make a choice. So the choice is there, and if they make a proper choices, I don't think there is a necessary.
There's 3 things that you would do for the city if you're elected.
Yeah, first thing I would do is like to make sure the roads are laid properly, and an external audit is done for the roads for the standards that is mentioned and the kind of money that is being spent. That would be the first thing which I would do, because not any road lasts more than like 3 months or 6 months. That's the time period for any road lasts. So the second thing I would do is like to make Chennai more greener, because like lots of buildings have come, but again after there was no tree plantation was there. So second thing that I would do. The third thing is the garbage problem. Like anybody who comes out of their home, the first thing they see is garbage. So I would concentrate on that. The fourth thing is I would concentrate on the corporation schools. I would try my best to make it as equal to a private school, as well as I would like to provide breakfast to the corporate school children. And fifth thing is
not from Food King, for a contract from Food King.
Not from Food King. It would be from the corporation, Chennai Corporation. And as well as the next thing would be like we would establish a 24/7 call center in all the 200 councillors as well as in the corporation level.
All right, that's an ambitious plan that you've envisaged, but thank you very much, Sharath, and good luck to you in your campaign. And as we always say, may the best candidate win, at least for the sake of Chennai. Pratiksha, before I let you go, now we've spoken about money power, and you say that really we've not had too many reports this time, unlike the assembly election or previous elections. What about personal attacks in campaigns? Today we saw, in fact, Sarath Babu sharing the stage, at least in our studio, with AK Murthy of the PMK. Personal attacks, what are candidates? I mean, have they steered completely from personal attacks against each other? Is that some redeeming feature in this civic body campaign?
Sanjay, this civic body election is really new in many ways. In fact, 32 candidates are contesting for the mayor elections, and they're going to really be fighting over 44 lakh votes. But definitely there is seems to be a coming of age with the candidates. In fact, the main candidates who supposedly M. Subramaniam and Saile Doraisamy have not really leveled any attacks against each other. All they've done is probably blame the government or blame the other party, or just spoken about their previous achievements. They have never they've not taken any personal attacks against each other or against any of the other main party candidates. So definitely that is a change this time. In fact, they were all focusing on what they could be doing for the people, what they have done before, and they were trying to make their work speak for themselves. So definitely a change in the political culture, Sanjay.
All right, thank you very much, Pratiksha, for that report. Thank you, Sharath, again for joining us. It's back to Anu for the rest of the news. Anu?
Thank you, Sanjay. India's first satellite to study the monsoon and climate change is successfully launched from Sriharikota, and along with it, a smaller satellite called Jugnu, prepared by students at the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, has also been launched. India's latest satellite, the Meghatropics, launched in Sriharikota today, will study the patterns and dynamics of the monsoon. The 1,000-kilo satellite was one of the 4 hoisted into space today, about 80 kilometers from Chennai. The French flavor in the name of satellite has the roots in the joint venture between India and France, which hopes to gain more information on how global warming will impact the monsoon. Built at a cost of rupees 500 crore, India has contributed the satellite bus and rocket to launch the Meghatropics into space. France has provided most of the high-tech scientific instruments. India's workhorse rocket, the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle or PSLV, now handling its 20th launch, was used today for the mission.
We await the separation of the Jugnu spacecraft. The
PSLV C-18 flight has been a grand success. Very precisely, 4 satellites were injected into a circular orbit, and the difference between what we planned and what we achieved is just 2 kilometers over an altitude of 867. We have the Meghatropics satellite, which is a joint Indo-French mission. And we have 3 co-passenger satellites made by SRM University, Chennai, IIT Kanpur, and from Lux Space of Luxembourg.
Moving on, the Madras High Court today suspended the jail terms handed by the Sessions Court to the 32 accused convicts in the Vachati riot and rape case. Just to give you a brief background of this case, these convicts were forest officials and from the Revenue Department, along with police personnel, including a retired conservator of forest. A Dharmapuri Sessions Court had found District Forest Officer S. Balaji and retired conservator forest M. Harikrishnan guilty of committing atrocities on residents of Vachati, a tribal hamlet in Dharmapuri district in 1992. In their appeals, Harikrishnan and Balaji, the first and fourth accused, said the trial court had erred from convicting them under the SC/ST Act since they were not required to perform any duties under the Act. There's more bad news for DMK senior leader Ponmudi, who was put behind bars for land grab charges. Now he has to face an extension of remand. The Directorate of Vigilance and Anti-Corruption had earlier conducted an inquiry against Ponmudi, former Minister for Higher Education and Mines, for accumulating wealth disproportionate to his known sources of income while he was the State Minister. That's all we have tonight. Thank you.